to the Motocross Supercross podcast.
And we're back. Another edition of the Motocross Supercross podcast. This is episode 71, where we will recap the 450s from Glen Helen. I'm Adam here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
What up?
A lot of stuff happening, especially with this 450 class. Some injuries and some other stuff going down. This season is shaping up, but unfortunately, we have lost another rider due to injury.
Well, not really RIP, but
due to, yeah, so I had to throw it. I was like, due to injury. He's still alive, but he will be dead to your fantasy team this year. Christian Craig.
Yeah, man. Christian Craig, who we talked about in our last podcast, if I'm not mistaken, he suffered a crash after pulling the hole shot once again for the second weekend in a row. He pulled a hole shot, and I guess he landed short. And they said it's one of the tabletops, but it looked like a step up to me.
It was definitely a double.
Exactly, like there was a gap between them. So
it was like a double, but like the middle was like kind of filled in, almost like a tabletop. So it's like, but I don't know how to describe it. But
yeah, that's how they are describing it online, though. They said, he made a mistake over the tabletop jump, and like I said, I don't think it's a tabletop. But yeah, he went down pretty hard. I guess they heard a pop, and he knew right away what that meant. And an MRI a couple of days ago confirmed the news. And unfortunately, Christian Craig will be missing the rest of the 2019 Lucas Oil Pro Motocross season.
Yeah, that's too bad. And the video is on our Instagram at MXSX Podcast. I tried to show exactly what happened. The camera kind of cuts away. It comes to it late, just shows him like bouncing. But that jump was giving people problems the entire day. It was like everyone was casing the crap out of that jump.
Yeah, it was. It did give a couple of the riders some trouble.
And he was like, he just looked to be in so much pain when he was like army crawling to the freaking side. You could see you could see him. He like tried to walk, and it was just like he just could not do it. Like he just buckled. So
that's what I was gonna say. I knew as I saw him kind of like not getting up to get out of the way. It was bad. It was bad or serious. It was like he crashed and he just kind of like stayed there. And if it was me, man, I would try to get up as quick as possible because I just got that whole shot. There's 39 guys behind me. So
yeah, well, since we're talking about that crash, we might as well talk. Well, Alex Ray ended up like crashing right there too. I think he might have clipped the bike, and just that jump just seemed a little tricky. Everyone was having problems with that little thing.
Well, he had problems because of Christian Craig crash, though. That's a tongue twister right there. Christian's crash. I can't even say it now.
Christian Craig's crash. Yeah, he was. Yeah. It looked like I couldn't see exactly who he was in, like, but he was coming through the midair, like pretty close to someone. But yeah, so we'll have to just wish a speedy recovery to him. It sucks though, because we were just talking about that cool thing we were going to do, guessing his emoji butt patches.
I know, man. He just ruined a whole bit.
Yeah, it's like, we didn't even really get to like get into it. It was just like, boom.
We just came up with it and nothing else. Like, we just,
So you have to listen to our last podcast when we got into that, or a couple ago. What else is happening?
I know Reed's going to be in Italy here coming up. I don't know exactly why, but he will be doing some stuff with the MXGP people, and we saw that Ryan Dungey was also over there with his wife. So maybe there's something going on with Fox, I want to say. I know there's been a lot of they just released like a really cool video with a bunch of their riders, and I don't know, maybe they're working on something.
Yeah, if you're on Instagram, you definitely saw that video because every single like Fox person posted it.
Yeah, exactly.
You definitely saw it. Or maybe Dungey is planning his comeback, which is another thing that we said.
Or Dungey is just going to do MXGPs.
Oh, that would be cool.
Right? Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine that, actually. I can. Shall we get into some of this Glen Helen 450 business?
Yeah, Yeah, might as well. We already gave the bad news, a very unfortunate news, because Christian Craig was, up and coming in the 450. He just moved up as a fill-in rider, and I'm just gonna say that the Honda people are just cursed, man. They anyone that they put in that 450, it's getting hurt. So
Yeah, that is true. That is true. It's like the number 13,
yeah, yeah, they're like the new black goat or whatever. Well, black sheep, not goat, black sheep.
There's like buildings in New York, like a lot of them actually don't have the number 13 like on their elevators and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's messed up. Be like, yo, I live on the 25th floor. Oh, you mean 26? Like, how many stories up are you? People don't know. All right, we got to get into this race.
All right.
Anyways, Jason Anderson was the fastest qualifier.
Yes.
Definitely stepping up and putting his name in the hat for the championship of this thing, too.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing because we didn't have any of the the red plate holders to do the fastest time, and we saw with the 250 how Osborne didn't even make top 3. So it was interesting to see, and Jason Anderson with the fastest lap time.
Yep, followed by Eli. Eli was only like 0.1 seconds behind him. It wasn't as big as the last week where he was 2 seconds, the time difference between first and second.
Well, this is just on qualifier, so let's not jump into any conclusions.
No, that's what it was last week. He was 2 seconds, like a second and a half faster.
I'm saying, before we even like start trying to say like Anderson is fast.
No, I'm just saying it's close. It's not like Eli last week when he blew Marvin's time out of the water.
I don't know if you watch qualifiers, but I did, and he was going like, okay, so he had the fastest lap time, and he was going like he was flying. Okay,
yeah.
Anderson got the fastest lap time, and then he like got the news from his guy, like his mechanic or whatever, and he was putting a really hot lap, just like really hot lap, and then he caught to like some lappers, I would say.
Yeah, I did see that.
And it slowed the hell of him. Like he was just like, whatever, I'm just gonna be okay with the almost lap, almost fastest lap time.
Yeah, he did kind of give up. He was like, but they were saying it seemed like he definitely could have put down another fast one. So
he was going to, for sure. He looked really good. Glen Helen, as we saw, it has a lot of up and downs. And he was just scrubbing everything, just flying. He was ripping on that lap that he gave up, for sure.
Yeah, so even the top the first 3 guys were all in 237s, which was Anderson, Tomac, Muskian, and then in the 38 was just Baggett, then 39s was Barsha. Craig had that 6th fastest time, and then Pike, Roxon, Bloss, and Cunningham were the top 10 fastest in those. And let's see, Alex Ray was 13th fastest on that, making his debut on the factory Yamaha.
Yeah.
And then Chisholm, he was there, 16th. Who else? Yeah, that's pretty much everyone that we usually talk about on here. Bradley
I wonder
Taft
if we're going to see
11th.
Chisholm next weekend.
What, on the Yamaha?
Well, yeah, you know how the 5150 people kind of just gave him support for a couple of races. I think he is going to race the rest of the season, but it's just hard.
Maybe they'll give Alex Ray the first 4 or whatever, and then they'll go to Chisholm for 4, and then someone else. Yeah, so here, let's jump into this first moto. There wasn't really like too much craziness, except like the whole Christian Craig thing, which really sucks because he pulled a whole shot.
Yeah, the whole Christian Craig thing was 30 seconds into the race now. So we got to give these people a little bit more than that.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. He pulled the whole shot, and then we were just like, oh, it's going to be Christian Craig again. It's going to be Christian Craig. And then he went down. Like, behind him, it was like Roxon, Dylan Merriam, Benny Bloss. You didn't see Tomac or Muskian or Anderson right there at the front of this one.
Yeah.
There was actually like a bunch of like kind of riders down. 330. I don't know who that is, but I saw he was down. And then Alex Ray went down in that same spot that Craig went down, as we mentioned earlier and talked about. But whenever that happened, that's when Roczen took the lead and pretty much led a crap load of this race. Like, yeah, he led 7 laps, so that's the first. There was 14 laps. He led the first 7. And yeah, it was like, I kind of predicted it. I said, keep an eye on Roczen, and boom, killed it.
Yeah, he looked really good. I liked him up front. He looked very confident. He looked like he can definitely hang up there. And, like you said, he led the first 7 laps, and which is, probably like the first 5 minutes or whatever, 5-7 minutes into the moto. And
no, it was like the first 15 minutes of the moto.
Yeah, there you go. Never mind. Yeah. I don't know why I said that, but yeah.
Yeah, so he was definitely killing it, and he would have had a really good day, but he had problems in Moto 2 we'll talk about when we do that. But yeah, I was just going to say, like, Tomac, it didn't really take him long. It was like Tomac, Anderson, Musquin, like everyone you expected. Barsha, he was running, I think he was up to 6th, and then he fell, just in a turn, nothing serious. Marvin actually passed Roczen.
No, Marvin did pass Roczen right after Roczen got passed. Not right after, but he got passed by Tomac after battling for a couple of laps, and then Musquin caught up to Roczen and also made the pass on him.
Yeah, Roczen, he was so strong at first, but then
Yeah, he ended up getting third, so that's not bad for sure.
And he said, kind of. Last week or 2 weeks ago, how he was just kind of just there to have fun, wasn't really there to race.
Well, he's not really out there for
the championship.
The championship, yeah. He's obviously out there to win a race or two.
Yeah, I think it was all just a tactic. It's all just a tactic.
Is that right?
Yep, that's right. That is definitely right. Little mind games they play with each other. So, Roczen, yeah, did good, but then Eli passed him, and Eli has been doing Eli things, which is winning motos.
Pretty much.
That's what he does.
He ended up getting the first place on this race right here, this first moto, and as of right now, I don't want to spoil anything, but he's sweeping the nation. So.
Well. Yeah, so that's pretty much how they've finished with that. Eli won, led the last 7 laps of the 14-lap race. Marvin got 2nd. Ken Roczen got 3rd. Jason Anderson right behind them in 4th. Blake Baggett, who we would expect to be right around that area, got 5th. Barsha, Pike, Cunningham 8th. But Dylan Merriam, 9th place, top 10. That's awesome.
Yeah, good for him.
Philip Nicoletti, 10. Kyle Chisholm, 11th. Bradley Taft, who's riding that stock bike with the pipe, and who knows what he put on since his last good finish last week.
Yeah, I saw that he put also a brand new suspension on it after that first week. So he's got suspension and a pipe.
Nice. So what do you think he unlocks this week then? What comes after his suspension pipe? You would think some kind of maybe motor, with some kind of motor modifications.
Yeah, maybe, or I don't know, maybe some bigger brakes. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I'll have to wait and
see.
This
week, yeah. He said.
Yeah, Brandon Shar was 14th. Toshiki Tomita 15th. Cody Cooper got 17th in that first, or 16th. Bradley Leonette 17th. Christopher Aldridge on that 2-stroke, I believe, got 18th. Alex Ray 19th. Not the greatest run for him on that factory bike debut. And then Cade Otterneath he got that top 20. Who else? Sean Leponovich. He actually got a little bit of TV time. They were he's about to get lapped, but they were had the camera on him, followed him around, talked about him for a second. I thought that was pretty funny. I was like, yeah. There he is.
I know.
So that was cool. And also Benny Bloss, he went down on that last lap.
Is that right?
Yeah, kind of in that sand rollers, the same place Osborne went down.
Okay.
Yeah, because you remember Osborne's crash where,
Yep.
yeah, that one's on our Instagram too. But yeah, Benny Bloss went down to that same place, and I forget if he posted something about that. On Instagram, he said, frustrating weekend, was running 7th in the first moto and had a hard crash causing me to get 22nd. Yeah, so he was able to get up for Moto 2, and yeah, he got 6th in that second one, which we'll get into right now. Yeah, so I knew something happened to him, and that's what it was. That little sand roller section got the best of him.
Yeah. I did not see that. I did not see him go down.
Yeah, I was kind of off camera, but you could just see him there and kind of just assume what happened.
Oh,
But he's
okay.
a tall dude. You think like when Plessinger saved that Vegas, kind of the same swappage in the rollers there. Benny Bloss is like 6'5" or something ridiculous.
Yeah. I think he's really tall. They call him Baby Giraffe. So.
But yeah, so that's pretty much how that first moto ended up. Let's go ahead and move into number 2.
Okay.
So moto number 2, this started with Anderson. Super clean hole shot. Super clean. He just dominated that whole shot. And then the most exciting thing in this was Baggett kind of caught an edge or something going up the face of one of those really steep jumps there and hills. And yeah, he went down and caused a pile up. Video on our Instagram at MXSX Podcast. But like you could see like Barsha like ramp his bike and stuff. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he managed, quote unquote, to avoid the incident. Was Justin Barsha.
So that was pretty cool. And then yeah, it was like in the weirdest spot. If you get stopped there, you just got to turn around and go back down and try again.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that sucks for them, and that really sucks for him because he was, killing it. And then the other couple exciting things was Roxon was...
Yeah, no, he didn't do that great in the second moto. I do remember, though, Anderson kind of like opening up a decent lead on the second place, which I believe was Muskin. And he had, I think it was like 6 or 7 seconds behind Anderson, and then behind him was Eli, which was another like 2-3 seconds behind Muskin. So this means Eli was almost like 9 seconds behind Anderson at this point in time.
Or Anderson had a big lead on everyone, and he led 11 laps of that race. But real quick, what I was gonna say about Roxon was he like pulled into the pits because he was hearing a weird noise, but he had like a rock stuck like in his frame or something or somewhere. It was making a weird noise.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if you noticed that, or what happened with Roxon going into the pits.
Yeah, I forget exactly where. They said a rock was stuck somewhere and it was just making a weird noise, and he was scared like I don't know, his crank was gonna blow. Yeah. So that really sucks that he had to pull in for that,
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, but he worked his way back up a little bit. Yeah, he went from 27. Well, he was like all the way dead last, like 38, and then went to 33, and then he worked up to 27, and then he worked up to 24. So, yeah, he ended up working his way all the way up to 8th place. So,
yeah,
that's pretty awesome. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, see, so he still got it. He's going to ride. And also in this race, they talked about Weston Pike, like how he's had like all this hand problems and he needs surgery. Just toughing it out. Pretty much just, saying Pike's a badass. Because there wasn't really any drama. Even whenever Eli, caught Muscan and stuff, there's still no drama, man. He's still being way too clean about it.
I'm telling you, he's a gentleman, man. He's over it. He just turned the page and he's just focused on the championship, and pretty much he doesn't want anything to fuck him up. There's a lot of like memes going around on Instagram and even on Twitter how whenever people started speculating on Tomac 4-0 or whatever, he crashed pretty hard. So
yeah. Let's
not say anything, but he's pretty in a good rhythm. He just he caught Anderson within 2 laps to go or 2 minutes to go, and after being behind 9-10 seconds. So that's pretty fucking awesome, and that's a lot. That tells you a lot right there. And just the fact that he caught up to Muskin and didn't do anything or hasn't done shit to him yet and passed him, and then catch Anderson and passed him. Yeah, Tomac's doing something right, and I cannot wait to see him next race at High Point, which is pretty much his home race. And
no, we're going to Colorado. Colorado.
Yeah,
High Point's in Pennsylvania, bro.
Or not High Point, Thunder Valley. Sorry.
Yeah.
High Point is after that.
So yeah, two things to take away from that. One, that is right. That's the Colorado race is the same one. He got real jacked his shoulders up way back a couple years ago, and he was dominating everyone. So that's definitely something. And two, I was gonna say maybe like July 4th weekend at Redbud. Maybe that's when we can see Tomac like put it in on Marvin. Like be like,
Redbud.
Do it for America, Just give him a little, a little America bump.
There is no race on July 4th, though.
Well, whatever the Redbud weekend is, it's always that July 4th weekend.
Yeah, it's July 7th, but yeah, maybe do it for America. You're right.
Yeah, it's just like if he's gonna be so clean, maybe we can just find one race for him to just give him a bump and be like, "Yo, I remember Foxborough. All right." I didn't forget, and this is he needs his payback, He's got to get his payback, or the fans aren't going to be happy.
Yeah, well, it was not Foxborough, was it? Was it Foxborough?
Yeah, where Musquin cut in on him.
Oh yeah.
Took him out.
I thought it was Utah.
Yeah, no, it was Utah when we were like, all right, it's going to happen. And then they get that's the thing. They get the highest rating, like TV ratings ever, like 800,000 people tune in to watch this.
Waiting for that.
Everyone's tuning in to watch this, and then it didn't happen. And we're still waiting. We are still waiting for this, rematch or so to take place, and it just hasn't happened yet. So,
maybe he's just saving it for Supercross season.
maybe.
Like
that's a long time to wait, though.
He doesn't even care. He's like A1, boom, broken shoulder.
That's a long time to wait. But I'm saying he passes Marvin at least 2 times. 3 times every week, so at least just give him a little bump, just to remind him, especially when you're dominating him so much.
Remember Foxborough? Yeah, I guess.
maybe he gets that on his butt patch, like, I didn't forget or something.
Exactly, for America.
Yeah, exactly. So, anyways, the other thing that happened in this race was Alex Ray got like pretty sketchy a couple areas. One, he was like sketchy in the whole section, and he saved it. And I think we should put a video of that up because it was just cool.
There you go.
And we like it when people save it too. Of course, we're not all about just the crashes. We like the saves.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah. Anyways, so Eli Tomac ended up getting first in the second moto, sweeping the nation. Jason Anderson was second place. Marvin Musquin with third place. Barsha getting fourth. Weston Pike, fifth place. Benny Bloss, sixth place. Filthy Phil, seventh place. Ken Roxon managed to get all the way to eighth, like we just said. Blake Baggett in ninth place. I mean, after going down and being dead last, I guess that's great. And Cody Cooper, 10th place. Kyle Chisholm, 11th. Alex Ray in the 12th place. Brandon Shashir, 13th. Cade Althornreith, 14th. Toshiki Tomita, another 15th place. Dare DeMardo, 16th. Ben LeMay in 17th. Bradley Taft in 18th place. Felix Lopez, 19th. And Dustin Pipes with a 20th place.
So a couple things to talk about from this. One, Anderson, leading so many laps, 12 of the 14 laps, and just cannot. He knows he can't either. He can't hold Eli off.
No.
He can't do it. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. But if Anderson can just stay super consistent like he did in Supercross, then when Eli crashes, Anderson will be right there to take advantage of it.
Yeah. Anderson definitely has the speed. The thing is, can he do it for 35 minutes? That's the thing. That's the biggest thing. But yeah, the point standings right now is Eli Tomac with 100 points. Marvin Musquin with 86 points in second place. Third place is Jensen Anderson with 73 points. Tied for third place is Justin Barsha with 73 points. Then underneath them is Blake Baggett and Weston Pike with 60 points apiece. Ken Roxon with 53. Phil Nicoletti with 49th points. Benny Bloss with 42. Kyle Chisholm in 10th place with 39 points. Bradley Taft in 11th place with 33 points. Cody Cooper with 31 points in 12th place. Christian Craig, who is not going to do more than 26 points.
Yeah, he's going to be falling, that's for sure.
Yeah, Dylan Merriam with 14th place in 26 points as well. And then in 15th place is Kyle Cunningham with 21 points.
You talked about Baggett, how he came all the way back to, what'd you say, 9th place or so?
Yes.
So he was riding without a hand grip in that whole second race.
Wow.
Yeah. This is what Forrest Butler said on Instagram. He said, "If you have already seen it, then you already know. But if you haven't, Blake Baggett went down in turn 2 on second place. He and his bike run over by so many bikes. And when he picked it up, we thought he was done. Left grip was ripped off, and we thought it was over. And just got ready for a grip change pit stop over radios. But then, this is like where the music kicks in. Blake Baggett did what he does that most others can't. He pinned it. The pics show what he rode with over the next 35 minutes at Glen Helen, coming all the way back up to 9th. Hashtag mind-blowing, hashtag all heart, hashtag El Chupacabra, and hashtag Magoo. Not sure what the Magoo thing's about, but...
Mr. Magoo?
Magoo, yeah, so... pretty cool. You know, Blake Baggett did what he does. He pins it. Whether he's got a grip or not, he's going to pin it.
Pin it to win it.
Yep. Also, Dylan Merriam, we talked about him. Obviously running up front and sitting in, or what did he get, 14th? Or sitting 14th in the points. But he, overall, a lot of positives to take from Glen Helen. 9th in a DNF. So DNF that second race. He was running 7th in Moto 2, but unfortunately went down and was unable to finish. Fortunately, my speed was really good and starts were on point, heading to Colorado healthy and ready to put together a top 10 overall.
He still managed to beat Alex Ray, though.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Alex got 18th and he got 17th.
Wow. So, yeah, huge thanks, everyone. Oh, yeah, here's what Alex Ray said. He said, dug deep this weekend. Started off rough, but never gave up. 19 and 12 at Glen Helen, on to Colorado. So not too much to say, really, from him. I got Ben LeMay, too. He said, Glen Helen, you were a beast. Ended up going 13 and 17. Moto 2 crashed in the pile up the hill, and had to work my way back up from 39 to 17. I felt like I left a lot on the table, but happy and healthy. We learn from our mistakes and move on to Colorado. Yeah, I think that could be a good fantasy pick there. Ben LeMay, sometimes he's a big underdog there. Anything else? I mean, we already talked about Christian Craig and, you know, his problems, so don't need to talk about that again. Sucks that he's out. We'll have to...
Yeah, it really does.
We'll have to watch the vlogs.
Back to the vlogs.
See what's happening. Yeah, it sucks. And I think his wife is even, like, supposed to be giving birth or something this summer.
Craig's?
I think so. Don't quote me on that. Definitely don't quote me on that. So Henry Miller, he is going to start back up this weekend in Colorado on the Trigger Racing. So we saw him Supercross on the HEP Suzuki teams. So that's another person to look forward to this week. Justin Barsha, though, I picked him to win, and that didn't happen.
No.
But I think it could. It definitely could happen this year. I think anything can happen. Is there anything else that you want to add to this episode?
No, man. Just thanks to everyone for listening and all the good reviews. Keep listening and checking us out at the MXSX podcast. We'll bring in some new stuff. We're gonna need contests. What's up with the hit word?